What's going on, people? So, if you saw the video that I did, well, it was live, but it's still a video, I guess. I don't know. Saturday night? No, Sunday night. Sunday night. I did the double unboxing with Predator Minute Podcast, who also put up a huge Boost and other shoe collection video not too long ago. Definitely check that out. But yeah, we did the double unboxing Sunday night. I have two pairs of Ultraboost 21s. He had a pair as well. So that was pretty fun to do that. So go check it out if you'd like. But that's why these are out of the box. Generally, when I do my reviews, they are unboxings, right? So that way I can share my live reaction. Well, you're not going to see it here, but if you want to see it again, it's back over there. It also cuts down on the amount of time it takes to get into the actual review. But anyway, so here's the thing. Let me hit you guys with this side of the box because I know some people do care to see what's on there. Why? I'm not quite sure. People just do, I guess. I don't know. But anyways, that being that, this here, an Ultraboost 21 in, what is it? Core black and silver metallic and solar yellow. That little hit right there on the top. So I guess there's not much else to say, so we're just going to go ahead and jump on into this review. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now review time on this right here, the Adidas Ultraboost 21 in black, silver metallic, and solar yellow. So there we go. Let's go ahead and knock this thing out. Now, I'll tell you straight up right now, you're not going to get the full-on comparison with these and any 20s or anything like that. If I do that, it'll be in a separate video because it's, I'm just trying to talk about these right now, kind of keep my focus. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, let's focus on the bottom first, though. So down there, what you're looking at, you're going to be seeing the Continental outsole, right? I learned recently that that's called the stretch web outsole that they've been using for the last however many years. But anyway, so you've got that going on, a little more color this time around. So you've got some gray, you've got some green, you got some black. And then towards the back, one of the things that I didn't notice until Predator Minute or John pointed out, it does have Boost embedded into the actual Boost. So in case you're curious what that material is, it's right there for you. Isn't that convenient? And then at the back end here, it's got that milky white sort of opaque-ish thing going on. Kind of reminds me of the SL20s in a way. Now let's move on up here to the midsole, right? Now this is a huge change from the previous models. So you can see flat out in the very back, it's a huge boost. So they say it's a 6% boost in boost, I guess you could say. But it's supposed to make it super comfortable and all that good stuff because the boost is already a good thing, so more of it should be a better thing, right? But anyway, so one thing you're going to notice on the outside, you do have this nice little strip here. I think it's different colors on different models, sure, to go with whatever the colors are of the upper. But on this, you just have a nice gradient from the white to the black in the front, and you got a little bit of that green peeking out from the outsole there. And then when you flip around to the inside, there is still that indentation. It's kind of hard to tell just from the video, from this here still, I should say. But if you look at a video of me moving it around, then you can kind of see that there is a nice little indentation there on both sides. I'm not sure how that will affect the shoe, but that'll have to come up at a later date once I've actually worn these a bit. So there's that for you as far as the midsole goes. And now moving on to the upper here, around the toe box, this part is feeling very stiff. Not in a bad way, but just like it's going to be a little more, I don't know, durable in some ways, And then moving back just a little bit to this here gray stitched upper, it's prime knit, right? So I should say this knitted upper. It feels very thick, like when you grab at it, right? It kind of reminds me of those EQTs I did a review of not that long ago. So it's basically just a flat black and gray, nothing too crazy about it. It was one of the basic colors that they had, and it was the best one of the basic colors that they had, in my opinion. So you've got that, and it just kind of goes all the way back to the to the mid area of the shoe more or less. And one thing that I noticed when I was kind of unboxing these, the styling that they have here of the stitching almost reminds me of the Ultraboost 2.0 knit pattern. So I don't know, what do you guys think? But moving on back a little bit further past that, you do have the cage, right? And so this cage, it doesn't feel so bad, right? It feels kind of thick, not too heavy or anything like that. Though I will say overall, the shoe itself is a little heavier. I think it weighs in, I want to say it was like 12 ounces or something. I think the other ones might be closer to 10 or 9, so a slight difference, but nothing too crazy. But anyway, so the cage here, it's not bad. Feels a little solid. So I'll get more into that when I wear them, if it actually makes a difference or whatever. But I do like the coloring of it. It's somewhat of a smoke gray kind of clear thing going on, and that just kind of has a cool look to me. But moving a little bit further back to where the heel is, one thing I want to point out, on the medial side, it does have prime knit stitched, not stitched in, but kind of embedded into the upper right under where your ankle would be. So that's just a nice little detail I noticed the other day, or maybe John pointed it out. One of us did. I think it was him. But anyway, so that's going on there. And the ankle area here, it is kind of feeling pretty decent. It reminds me a lot of the 20s, I want to say. But I'll have to go back to that later and figure that out for sure. But it feels like it's a pretty nice material on the outside anyway. It feels like a neoprene, but but more solid. I think that's the best way to describe it. And now stepping down just a tad, you do have the heel cups, heel counters, whatever, on each side. On the outside, they're labeled with Ultraboost. On the inside, it is not. It's just plain. So there's that. That's pretty much the most of the outside, except for the lacing area. So over here, where the laces are, it's pretty much what you've come to expect if you've bought a pair of Ultraboost before. It's just your flat black laces. Nothing fancy about it. It's just the same ones you always see. But I like them, you know. I mean, they seem like they'd probably be like more aerodynamic or something, maybe. I don't know. And then behind that, you have a nice thin kind of tongue type area. And at the top, you do have that Adidas logo with the 3 stripes. And there is just a slight bit of a 3M kind of reflection, not reflection, but effect going on there when you hit the flash on there. So, in case you were curious, that's still around. There's not really anywhere else on this particular shoe though. I'm sure that eventually they will make some, but for now, these are fairly plain. So let's go ahead and look on into the insole and the sock liner and all that stuff. So the sock liner here, looking at the back of it, you can kind of tell it's got a nice and flat and black neoprene feel going on. So I do like that to the touch. And then down on the inner areas on the sides, you do have those little cushiony pillow type areas for your feet, right? So that's nice. That's one of the things I do like about the Ultraboost. They have some comfort everywhere you want comfort to be. But past that, let's go ahead and take a look here down at the actual insole. So on this one, it's just that solar yellow, which some people would say is green or volt, whatever. It's that. And it just says Prime Blue, made with Parley Ocean plastic. I don't know what the ratio is this time around. It does vary a little bit from shoe to shoe. And it does definitely affect how they feel, right? As far as when you're wearing them and the stiffness or lack thereof. So I'll get more into that when I actually do the on feet portion and talk about all that, as long as I remember to anyway. But otherwise, I'll hit you with my personal thoughts real quick. As far as the visual of this shoe, I am still a little on the fence about it, to be completely honest. Like, it's intriguing in that I like this extra boost thing because it makes me think, oh, that's probably gonna be really comfortable. The first thing I thought also was that it's gonna be like the 720, where you're gonna be like higher in the back, like in your heel area, and it's gonna make you feel like you're leaning forward all the time. And that's one thing I didn't like about the 720s. Well, I disliked a lot of things about the 720s. But anyway, so that kind of had me on the fence as far as just buying in right off the look or whatever. So there's that. And the color selection, as is Adidas's normal thing. They didn't have the best ones right out of the gate, but given that spring and summer more or less right around the corner, I'm sure they'll start pumping out a few, probably in like the mid part of March or something like that. You'll probably see some rumor pictures, and then they'll start popping up, and then these older colors will start dipping down in price, and that's when you'll probably start seeing more people wearing them, because I don't think anybody's trying to pay $180 for these right now. At least not like casual buyers, you know, maybe the more interested types like myself, kind of, but your average person, I guess no. But anyways, enough about that. Let's talk about the sizing and all that stuff, get some videos in here. So here's the thing, right? Sizing first, because that's the easiest part. I went with a 9.5 because that is what I have known to work for me in pretty much every shoe that Adidas makes, pretty much every shoe that everybody makes, honestly. And these fit exactly like I would expect them to. So to me, that's a true to size fit. if you're not sure what your true to size fit is or whatever, just buy what you normally buy and you'll probably be okay. Assuming you're like going off of other types of normal shoes, you know, I can't compare these to boots or whatever. So take that for what it's worth. But past that, talking about how they actually feel, that thing I said before about the heel being a little taller, it doesn't quite matter so much here because your foot actually sits a little bit lower than the Boost looks. So that's a lot better. It's almost like, imagine there's like a little hole dug out for your foot to sit in, right? So it's a little lower than what it looks to be on the outside. Good things in my opinion, but they do feel pretty nice, pretty comfortable. They didn't seem like mind-blowing, right, just walking around in here, but once I get them through and start actually walking around, running around, all that stuff, and do some performance tests or whatever, then I'll have a better idea for it. But off the top, they don't seem like they're worth running out and buying right now. I just don't see that kind of difference. But I will say that they felt a little more comfortable just to walk around in because this heel area, it's just more finely tuned in that way, which is where it comes off like this big slant that they have. Now, as far as the upper goes, the upper feels nice and comfortable, right? It is a little bit, I don't know, I don't want to say stiff, but it just locks your foot in a little bit more. It hugs your foot more. That's probably the best way to put that. So it's kind of a snug feeling, but that's just the standard thing with Ultraboost from what I've seen. And I'm sure that these, much like other ones, will stretch out over time. I just kind of have a question about how that will work with the very tip of the toe here, because that's definitely a lot stiffer than I can recall from other ones. So that'll have to come back to at a later date. But I would still say to go with your true to size. If you're on the fence and you don't know if they're going to be too snug, just go up and leave it alone, right? But anyways, I don't have a whole lot else to say about the shoe. It does have a nice bit of flexibility in the toe area as far as wiggling your toes around, so that's also a good thing. But otherwise, I can't say too much about it because I just got them, right? So the only thing I can say is that if you're looking for something comfortable to walk around in, these are definitely going to do that for you. How they'll feel as far as like if they'll live up to all the hype that Adidas put behind them as like this new super innovative running shoe, can't comment on that right now. But John and I will be back, I think we estimated in like a month and a half or so, just to give our own follow-ups on that. We'll do a little live and it'll be a good time. Come on by, hang out. But for now, I'm going to wrap this up because I feel like this video has gone on long enough. So, from me to you, have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are. I have another video to shoot after this, and eventually these things will get out there. It's Tuesday now. I'll probably get this one out on Wednesday. We'll see what happens. All right, later, people.